The need to belong is as essential as food and water. Today I'm unboxing a conversation with Barney from Hungary, whose story is a beautiful example of how culture, language, and human connection can change a life. Barney came to Iceland as an exchange student through the AFS program and lived in Isafjord with the local host family. By fully immersing himself in the everyday life, he learned Icelandic quickly and discovered a deep connection to the culture. Now, Barney has been working as an interpreter for Icelanders as well as for Hungarians. This is a conversation about courage, belonging, language, opportunity, and the unexpected paths that opens when we step into a new culture. Welcome, Barney.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
Well, very well. I had a long journey just today from Reykjavik. It was pretty tiring, but now I'm back in Isafjörður and we continue working for tomorrow.
Well, that's good to hear. I'll ask you your full name as you will say it perfectly.
Yeah, my name is Barnabas Roth. I'm from Hungary. And it's right, as you mentioned, I'm working here. I don't know, should I introduce myself now? Wholly what I'm doing?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm working currently in Sudavik for a construction as an interpreter, as you mentioned, for Hungarians and Icelanders, because there's a calcified algae plant is currently building up in Sudavik. And hopefully the task will be ended in the end of November if everything is going in order. Job is actually to help the communication between the Icelandic subcontractors and the Hungarian subcontractors. Pretty much that's my job. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I have in my head this big question. Why Ísafjörður or
Yeah.
Súðavík?
Well,
That's
I, I think I try to put everything in a nutshell how my life brought me here, because everything began 5 years ago exactly when my exchange student. I think I'm just gonna begin the reason why I chose Iceland, because
Yeah.
you must be really interested about that too. That's
Yeah.
why I choose it.
Yeah.
So actually, my family in Hungary is really Scandinavian, so we went a lot of times when I was small to IKEA, and we shopped a lot of IKEA. You must
Oh,
know it, yeah, the Swedish shop.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
And I don't know, I felt really good inside the shop all the time, and I was really interested because I have learned German for 12 years in high school, and I was always interested that what's the name of the furnitures, because it was always in a strange language and it looked like German, but I never knew it. And then it turned out that it's Swedish language. I was really interested first in Swedish. I studied it. And I really wanted to go to Sweden first. Unfortunately, it's really expensive, and for somehow Iceland was cheaper option. So my mom just told me that, yeah, look at Iceland, and it has a beautiful nature. It even have its own language, so you could try that. Googled Iceland and everything, and I really thought that, yeah, it's interesting. I'm really interested about languages too. When I figured out that Icelandic language is existing, I was really, I saw that it's something exotic that I have to learn. I don't know why. It had that at the moment. I saw that it had that really strange letters that nobody uses, like the thought or the F. So that's what really motivated me first. It was in 2020 when I came to Iceland. Unfortunately, when I was notified, because that was the time when COVID started, and I was notified several times that it might be not possible that I can come. And I was really felt bad about it. And they just notified me 2 weeks before the depart that I can surely come, because there's a family in the Westfjords in a little village called Thingeyri. There's a big family. and they would like to have me. And I was really happy. I was preparing
Wow.
myself in 2 weeks. The main reason I speak Icelandic because my family didn't speak any English at all. In order to have some communication, I had to learn it. And that's how it began. Yeah, actually,
Wow.
yeah.
Really glad. I will tell you a little bit about me. I also came to Ísafjörður, the
Okay.
Westfjords, when I came to Iceland first. So I arrived to the Keflavik airport and then we drew the whole way to Ísafjörð. And it was a crazy experience because I was seeing that slowly we were seeing less and fewer houses. So I'm like, okay, where are we going?
Yeah. It's a pretty
you
big, yeah.
Yeah, after you arrive to a big city like Amsterdam, coming from South America, big countries, a lot of people, and then we were like going further and further
Yeah,
away.
exactly.
So it was a bit confusing, but of course I was with family, so I didn't experience like stressed or anything, but it was a bit confusing. Was it confusing for you? What was like your shocking first experience when you arrived not to Iceland, but already you got to thinking it.
I don't know how to say it. Like, I don't know if it's first, it seemed that's a big adventure, of course. I was really happy that I got there because I have been like reading about the region. I wouldn't say it's the shock that got me is actually the view. Of course, nobody experiences this view outside Iceland. The mountains and the nature is like breathtaking. But
Yes.
I mean, positively, the shocking was this. Of course, you are also me coming from a country which is like pretty. It's actually Hungary is almost the same size as Iceland, but of course there's 10 million people there. Meanwhile, here only 400,000.
You
Yeah, you cannot compare it, and especially in this people call this Isafjordur as, but I consider it as a little village because there's only 2,500 people living here, I guess. And yeah, the negative shocking was because after like 3 months when I started to get used to the environment, I was pretty like feel lonely, getting like started to feel lonely because, especially in this region, especially during COVID, the schools were closed and there, I didn't have like much of an options to travel around or meet with youngsters. I felt pretty like, I wouldn't say depressed, but like pretty off. So
on the blues.
on the, yeah. We could say
Yeah.
that too.
I
So
think we
yeah,
all experience that. Someone told me once, being very confident with this person. I was like, I think I feel depressed. And he replied, oh, you are becoming Icelandic.
yeah, as
So welcome to the club.
yeah, thank you. Sometimes I'm still feeling this. It's so funny because I returned to the West. I came since my exchange year. I always return to Iceland for visitation reasons 2 times a year, which was
Yeah.
pretty enough. But now that I'm staying here, like for a long term time, I'm starting to refeeling the sensation that I felt when I was an exchange student because you don't have the options that you have in your home country. Or you're pretty blocked. And I wouldn't say blocked, but like there's not
Isolated.
exactly. But my mom always said, and also my girlfriend in Hungary, there should be like you always have to like. Oh my god, I don't know the word in English.
Maybe
You always
coping.
now like you always have to take the positive out of everything.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a really social person and try to open to people. When I was an exchange student, what I experienced that Icelandic youngsters are not really open. Yeah, I always had like friends above 30 years, which was pretty odd.
But I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. At least you
Yeah,
have to
exactly. You have
yourself.
to take what you have.
Yeah.
So that's the option that I had, and also I just started to like organize for myself some programs, like go to the swimming pool, local swimming pool. Then I started to run, not sitting on the sofa and being bored or scrolling my phone. Like try to do some activity which is useful instead of just killing the time with something useless. So yeah, it was
Love that. I love that. You know, this podcast is about belonging and feeling part of the society and this life between cultures. So, what you just did is exactly being part of the society, coming one of them or one of us. If I include myself now, before I didn't include myself. In order to become part of them or being part of the society, you just follow the same. You go to the swimming pool and maybe you meet someone on the hot tub, you chit chat, have
Yeah.
some small talk. Hva säger du gott?
Yeah.
Vad är klockan? Är kallt ute?
Actually, that's the way I started to learn it better. When I had these bad days, when there was nothing to do, I just went to the local swimming pool and started to talk to old people who had nothing to do during the day. So I just
Oh,
like
yeah, that's the
open to
best.
them. And I remember that in Fingeri, there was a woman called Jovina. A connection with her, just met each other after 5 years, and she and also me was surprised that we saw each other again. But yeah, these things are really important, especially that you and I suggest to every people that even though that you don't have your same aged people, like you should open to other people, even for communication reasons, because it's always good to have, and especially in Iceland where your options are pretty limited. You should all take all the options that you have
Whatever you
around. Yeah, exactly.
100.
Yeah. So that's what I did. I'm pretty proud of it because I don't think so that especially at my age. By the way, I'm 22. I may look older. Yeah.
You look very young. I was thinking 25, 26. That was going to be my next question. So you just saved me one.
Yeah. I'm I'm
That's
I'm
right.
22. So yeah, it was
Think
actually five
about
years.
this. A young guy like you, full of energy, full of, and it's in this small city,
Yeah,
not many people to talk to that are the same age. What has this teach you? Or, yeah, like what have you learned from this experience to be in this small space when you're so young and full of energy?
actually, what I learned is to not be, because I know that if I wouldn't have come here, then I
Mm,
would be as the others in Hungary. Like, I mean, I wouldn't like say it like everybody, but most of the young people at my age are pretty closed, and that's what I'm experiencing. That they are afraid to talk to people. When you can only count on yourself, especially in another country, that taught me to be open as much as
yeah.
possible and always search for opportunities. Don't be afraid to get someone if you want to have something. Like like for example, my mom just laughed at me because in Sudavik there's the mayor. I think it's mayor in English, Bajárstjóri.
Yeah.
I really need a television in my room because I really want to. I just took my Xbox to kill the time. I just asked the mayor of Sulavik if he could lend me a TV. And people are really pretty surprised that I'm there to do this, to just ask randomly people if they could help
Yeah.
me. But you should live with it. And I know the mentality. I really love, like, everybody helps each other. And I know that people can count on each other. If you need help, you will get it somehow. And always my surroundings, especially in Hungary, the people tell me that, yeah, we don't understand how you can do this. Like, how can you move out and just be there? And I just say, I'm not afraid. I know that if I'm knocking on one door, I can always count on help of someone. And also, what I think that both of us are really, really lucky about, that we speak Icelandic, because people really respect that.
Yeah.
That's one of the keys that people are getting more open to you, because they can see that you are motivated to come to this country and speak their language. That's my first. That's my other advice. If you go to another country, no matters how hard the language is, but you should always, if you're motivated to go there, then you should learn the language. I'm really proud of that too, that I was able to learn this language, because it brought me many, many opportunities in my life. And I never thought it gonna be, because it's a language spoken by 500,000 people inside and outside Iceland. And in the last 5 years, all my jobs were connected to these languages. By the way, I don't have any university diploma or anything. And still, I'm getting like pretty good jobs with this
Yeah.
language. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
I
pretty
really
much that's
like your
it.
positivity. And you know what? I can feel the vibe. You have such a positive energy. I can feel it over here.
Thank you.
That's true. And you know what? That's what we need. As you said, young people are shy and introverting and
Yeah.
not getting out there to connect with other people. And it's getting harder and harder and harder to get to know, to vibe, to feel
Especially
the
with
other
these.
people. Exactly. True.
So,
But I mean, we need those devices.
yeah, of course. For watch the videos as we're doing right now, it's good. But I really hope that it reaches like even exchange students in Iceland to not be, because I know my case was really special because it was COVID, so it made everything even harder. But
True.
this Oh, I with this video, I also want to reach out for the abroaders who's living in currently in Iceland. Not be afraid, because it's not the same as in their home countries. You can count on everybody. If they have one bad experience, then don't take it as everybody's. Because I had a bad experience too, but I just turned away and went to ask for another people.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Thank you for that
that's it.
message. You know what I was thinking? Normally, people that live in the city, like the big city, Reykjavik, they don't speak Icelandic. They don't learn Icelandic. And it's so harsh. Not going to believe there is a school that 80% of the students are foreign
No way.
and they just don't speak Icelandic.
Yeah, I know.
And the city, the city hall, the mayor to book for every appointment the school has, the school manager, the director,
Yep.
to book an interpreter for each language
No way.
because they
Really?
are not adjusting. So I have a question. I know you're very young, but your experience counts a lot. Do you think that living in a small town makes easier to learn the language than the city?
Probably the reason is because Reykjavik it became a pretty intercultural city. This region, the West Fjords, it's especially the region where you will 100% learn the Icelandic, because there are almost no tourists during the 2/3 of the year. So it's, yeah, I think, and I can confirm like 100% that it's true if you come to the countryside. But I think it's true about like every place. If you go to the countryside and experience the real culture, then you will 100% learn the language of the country. In my experience, I was pretty sad about it, because when I went to Reykjavik today I wasn't spending much in the city center. Last time, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago, I
Mm-hmm.
I just went to the hotels and coffee shops, and no matter what kind of subject we talk about, but what I experienced that all the time, when I start to, because I'm so proud that I'm speaking it, that I'm making myself speaking it even in the capital. It makes me feel so weird that when I'm talking to, for example, in a coffee shop to someone, and they say that nee, ekki tala íslensku. They tell me this, and then I'm just feel like, okay, then let's speak English because it's better for you, of course. I don't know. I think Icelanders feel the same way as me, that
It's
their
sad,
capital.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's sad. It's sad because their capital became like an intercultural place where they have lost their authentic.
Real
I wouldn't
culture.
say authenticity, but the culture. Yeah, it
Yeah.
became a pretty like I don't know, like London. That's everybody speaks English, a bunch of languages, but still English is the common language used by the peoples. Yeah.
You know what? Once I was lost and I was taking the bus and I was like, okay, I don't know where I'm going, but I know it has to be to this specific place. So I jump into the bus, and it's very harsh to take the bus when you don't know where you're going exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I tried to ask the bus driver, And he just replied, I don't know. I
What? No
And then,
way.
so because it's an Icelandic station where the bus, of course, goes, maybe when we say the name, people is not even familiarized with the name of the station in Icelandic.
Yeah. Jesus.
That is how bad it's getting here in Reykjavik.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
so
why
sad because it's
that's
so
why
good.
I'm happy that I'm being in the countryside actually because
Yeah.
yeah.
The
I
Icelandic
mean,
culture is so rich and they are missing out so much. We're
yeah.
lucky we went to the Westfjords, and I will say that Westfjord is the best place. I remember going on Saturdays up to the mountain for chocolate, writing in the book and
Yeah,
going down. It's like a different type of lifestyle. You get to know Icelandic life and how to deal with it also in the winter
exactly.
time when it's cold and you cannot just go outside.
Yeah. That's what I just experienced three weeks ago, I think, or maybe more.
Yeah.
There was the yellow and orange warning, and then you couldn't go anywhere at all because all the roads were closed. So,
Yeah, because yellow warning is the real yellow warning.
yeah. Yeah. And I love, there's some Hungarians with me now, like
Oh,
12, I
great.
think, and they think that, yeah, yellow warning is nothing in Hungary. Actually, compared to this, it's nothing. One of them just went into the car during the weather, and they really expected to be the yellow warning as nothing, but they just returned after 5 minutes because they said that they couldn't even see through the glass for 1 meter. So, I mean,
Oh, that's
yeah,
the best part. This is real yellow
yeah,
warnings. That's
yeah.
something to listen to. This is not a joke.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
So
Yeah.
I was wondering, because you came so young, how much of contact do you still have with your family? Like, is it daily? Is it monthly?
With
What's your,
with my family in Hungary or in Iceland.
yes, with your family in Hungary? Because they may miss you a lot.
It's I'm pretty lucky about this job because I have the opportunity to go home after every sixth week. It's like 6 week in Iceland and 2 weeks in Hungary. So
That's great.
it's kind of easy. Relationship, which is a pretty hard. Now I'm planning that girlfriend is coming out in June, but
Wow,
but
that's
but uh,
good.
but I'm not sure about it. Maybe because of university studies, she cannot
Mm.
come. But we will see. Yeah.
Yeah. The experience is that people from Hungary is very warm and they are very connected to family roots. That's why my question, like, you don't see your family as much, but you see it a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty attached to them also because I mean I can thank them that I'm being here. Also, my mom was the one who motivated me always about Iceland. So I and when there's some days that are, as you said,
Yes, yes. Uh-huh.
during those days, questioning myself to her that yeah, was this a nice good idea because I don't feel good anymore. And then she says that yeah, it was a good idea. We'll have bad days. You should go through this, and then everything will be okay. And she always says to me that do something instead of thinking about the bad things, like go for a run, go to the swimming pool, to get tired and go sleep, to just forget
Yeah.
everything. And she's right because
Yeah.
I people, in order to build a big future, they have to sacrifice some things in their life. I know it sounds harsh from a 22 years old, but
I was
I
like, what is happening here?
but actually I'm pretty motivated because I know that end of this task, which will be this year November, I'm gonna be much more, I don't know, like stronger. Even I have never worked in construction, so that's a good thing that now I'm experiencing some construction work. And also, it's just a plus thing in your CV. Someone sees it that yeah, you had a what is it, a project in
Yeah.
Iceland, then they will say that yeah, you're pretty experienced. So yeah, I'm I'm
You
just
know,
keep telling
experience
myself yeah.
experience is counting more and more these days, because we have AI and all of this is getting so fast. So, like doing the hard jobs it's becoming like the main thing now.
Yeah.
And like your curriculum is important regarding your experience more than regarding some academics.
Yeah.
So it's like, what have you done for real? Like, social media people right now is like, how many people is following your account? How big it is? It is more than the marketing education or
Yeah,
any
yeah,
other
yeah.
academic education they actually did. So you're doing correct. You're doing the right things. Gathering experience, it's gold.
I hope so.
Yes.
I really hope. Yeah.
Yes, but now we can jump a little bit into your favorite traditions here in Iceland. Your favorite traditions.
Well, my only one is maybe the Christmas traditions when they make their tradition of hamburgerryggur. Since my exchange year, it's what I'm always eating for Christmas and that's what I'm making for my family in Hungary, and they love it because in
Yeah.
Hungary we eat totally different meal for
Mm.
Christmas. So yeah, that's one of the traditions, and they're just making the same way. Any other traditions? I don't know. To be honest, that's what traditions I really like. Like
Okay, let's go a little bit back. You were in your exchange years, came to stay with a family.
yeah,
What is it that they were doing? Like beside the hamburgerryggur?
in a family do it better than Iceland, but I'm not saying it out of ego. It's just like what I'm experienced.
Mhm.
So, but
No, well, my
because
experience in
just give
Hungary.
you an example,
Yeah.
give you an example at a tradition. For example, we didn't really have like what is it called, lunches, in Hungary we always have lunch on every Sundays together and exactly at 12 o'clock. In
Oh,
Iceland we only had like dinners,
yes.
which is like, I don't know. In Hungary, I got used to that. We have like big meals during the middle of the day, and at dinner we have something light. Here, it's a bit different.
Oh.
So I don't think that it's good for the body, but it doesn't matter.
No, it's not good for your body. Actually, what you're doing in Hungary is better because you gotta have something light before you go to rest.
Yeah,
But
exactly. That's
nobody
what I'm
talks
saying.
about.
Yeah, exactly. But the tradition that I really like, now I have a positive thing that everybody knows how to swim. It's a mandatory thing in Iceland for each children to go to learn how to swim. And
Yeah,
I also agree with, I think that they should do the same in Hungary, even though we don't have any sea, but we have the Danube, and we have also a very big lake. So it's
yeah,
always useful to know how to swim.
yeah.
So yeah, that's what I can agree with. And I also love that each, doesn't matter what size, but almost each settlement has a swimming pool. So that's a really cool thing.
It's like if you have a school, you have a swimming pool.
Exactly.
And I
Exactly.
just rhymed. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
If you have a school, you got a pool.
Yeah.
And you get a pool, and you get a pool.
Exactly.
Oh gosh, that's great.
Yeah.
What challenges come with learning a language in a small town instead of a city? What are the challenges? Because we just mentioned like the advantages of being in the small city. But what about the challenges?
The challenges you have to know that sometimes you will make mistakes for sure at the beginning, but that's what you don't have to be afraid of, because actually I had a host parents, so they are really accepted this, that yeah, of course, now you're learning the language, you won't be always talking the right things at first, but yeah, first thing that challenges you the most, that the lack of communication at first, in the lack of understanding, that's what I would say, because
Yeah,
of course at first it's pretty hard to make understandable sentences. Now we have digital devices, of course we can show what I did all the time, tried to first speak, and when I could see that they don't really understand it, of course I just texted to Google Translate or ChatGPT and show them what I'm
yeah,
trying to say. But yeah, that's the first challenging thing. And also, each language has different grammar. For example, in Hungarian, we don't have genders, so everybody is the same gender. Yeah. For me, it was really challenging to learn masculine.
Yeah. Kwenkin or
Last
Karkins.
Kvenkin, Karkin, or Korukin. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty challenging, but the more you talk, the more you get used to it, and the more you hear people talking, then you just pick it up with your brain. Our brains is like a sponge, like you just people think that language knowledge is coming with birth. It's not about that, in my opinion, because there are some people who are polyglots or multilinguals, but it's really depending on if you're motivated to learn the language. Because of course, if you just say that, yeah, let's learn German, and you start it, and then you were like, no, I'm not into it anymore. But me, I knew that because I was in the environment, I was in here for 1 year. I was and I there was COVID, so I had pretty much time to learn it. I was really motivated. I bought like books and filled them like each day for like 2 hours to learn the grammar. Uh, yeah, pretty much that's it. It
That's
was
very good. That's crazy. You just mentioned that's like a little thing. Where what it what who told you to do that? What was the main reason that drove you to take a book and start writing and doing it that way?
because in my case was that motivated. Maybe not every people is that motivated as I am, but I was seeing that Icelandic is a so exotic language, and almost like a really small percentage of the world population is speaking it, that I felt mandatory that if I have this opportunity to live in this country for 1 year, then I have to use it to learn it and communicate with people. Just for many reasons. Life is much the quality of life is much better here than in my country. If I know the language, people will be much more open. And I know that if something comes up in my country, if I don't know, like I just say that I want to leave it, then I always will have a second home to come back and start a new life here. I have a lot of connections, especially in this region. I can always count on people. That's what I did. Like, people always asking me that, how can you afford to come to Iceland? I'm only paying my flight ticket. And from then, I always counting on my people. I call people who I know in, for example, Keflavik, and they take me to Reykjavik. And then I spend one night in Reykjavik at someone else's place. I pretty much live off my connections, and I'm really happy about it because what I did during that one exchange year, I know that now I'm benefiting it a lot.
Yeah, I
So
but the technique that you used, it was very personal to you. That was your technique. Start writing down on a notebook to keep track of what you were learning in grammar and all of that.
yeah. And also in this school, in the mental school, there's if you're a foreigner, there was a class especially for foreigners. I know that I had a lot of Polish classmates who were the same old as me, and we had this class called Icelandska sem annað tungumál. That is for foreigners, and I had a really great teacher called Emilson. He was really nice and funny,
Was
and
it very tall?
no, he was like, I don't know, with a beard. He didn't really look Icelandic at all, but he was Icelandic. But he was a aged, not was, he is an aged guy. He's still around. But yeah,
Luckily for us, the
luckily
foreigners.
for us, he's still around. Yeah. He was the one who was teaching me a lot. I always had like grammatical. I'm still having problems, for example, with the words theta. Because
Oh.
there's a lot of ways to say it. Theta, thessa, thessi, thennan, thessum, thessari. There's a lot of ways to say it. Sometimes when I'm saying like a really complex sentence, pretty much having troubles with it. But now I'm just getting on the track. Yeah.
Yeah. I still struggle with the same. I've been here for 21 years now, and I'm still struggling with the thessa, thesse, thennan, theta. Because
Yeah,
sometimes I wonder if should I say thesse or thennan.
yeah. It depends on what context you like how you say your sentence because
Yeah, and
because
also,
yeah, exactly. Like crazy. I never saw it. I think it's same in Spanish. Someone told me that when you say they, then there's like three kinds of like there's when only girls,
yeah.
only boys, and when there's mixed. And you speak Spanish, right?
Yes, Yeah, Spanish is my mother tongue, but I think the theta is exists. The thought exists in the Spanish zeta. So we have the pronunciation of theta. Just
Yeah.
doesn't write the same with the thought. Is with the zeta.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I
So we have
see.
the sound. We have the sound in the
Just
language,
written same.
and the Spanish language has so many things in common, but I believe it's the Latin influences over the Germanic influence. So
Yeah.
this is just like the antiques of the
Yeah.
Northern language that just makes them both. Like we still have words that we have the same words, but it means different things. Yeah.
I,
But I believe in Hungarian you don't have that because Hungarian is also a very special language.
yeah, it's one of the hardest in Europe. Or
Yeah.
maybe in the world. It's yeah, in Hungary, what we are so lucky about that we pronounce every letter the same way as it should be. So there's no like combinations,
Like in
like
Polish, for example, that you have
I mean
T.
in we do have combinations like that, but I don't know how to say it. Like for example, the vowels, the
Mhm,
maybe vowels are A, E, I, right? Or
mhm.
maybe not. I'm not
Yes,
sure.
they
Yeah.
do. Mhm.
Yeah, those are pronounced always the same way. They are not changing.
Oh,
We have not the vowels, but I don't know what they are called in English. Like for example, S and Z uh, getting together is pronounced s, like sauce or something. And then
mhm.
the S itself, it's only sh. So
Oh, uh,
so we don't have any signs on the top like in Spanish. Like for example, the we have the sound like in your language, niño, you know.
uh-huh.
And the ñ, we don't have anything on the top of the n. We just add an epsilon to it, and we just
That's
pronounce it
the sound
together.
yeah.
Yeah,
Ah,
exactly. So we do have things like that, but we count it as one letter in our
yeah,
ABC.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, wow. You see, it's a special language. You just need to get to know the key things, and then it's possible to read it and understand it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Very nice. I really like that. Maybe one day, if I have time, I will learn Hungarian.
Yeah, you
I will
should.
go to you then.
Yeah. We are really happy now because there was elections at our country and now our president just like went away. So we have a
So you
new
have
president.
a new president. So
Yeah,
that.
it was all around Iceland. I don't know why, but every countries from the world just watched at us that what's going to happen. And luckily, we have a new president after 16 years, and we hope that he's gonna bring us more near to Europe. So now it's a really good time for me to be here and just watch from this country what is going on in Hungary, and then I can
Yeah.
decide if I'm trust the new president or not.
Otherwise, you come and stay in Iceland. And
Yeah,
that
yeah,
I
exactly.
really, I really like this thing you said because I also feel Iceland is my home. Not every foreigner that I encounter mentions this thing like you just did. If I want to be in Hungary, I'll be there. Otherwise, I will go home. You just
Yeah,
said,
exactly.
and I was like, okay, so Iceland is your second home.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I count it as one because I mean, people already like took me in this country. Like, I don't feel like any kind of foreigner. Of course, know where I belong, but I also feel like a little bit I belong here too because I have a lot of people here for myself. Also, I wanted to give you a question because
Yeah.
I was checking your videos and
Uh huh.
I couldn't really decide which Spanish. Are you from Trinidad?
No.
Trinidad and Tobago?
No.
No,
No.
but it's a Spanish speaking.
I think Trinidad is a mix because it's a Caribbean island.
But
So
are
it's
you
a
from?
they also speak English.
But wait, can you give me where you're from?
You want some hint?
Yeah,
Okay. We bring bananas to Europe. Mhm.
bananas.
Bananas. Bananas. That's why I made my video about bananas because I am from the banana country and it's not Africa.
Oh my God, I don't know.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, not banana. I will give it away. We have penguins.
Argentina.
No.
Chile.
but very close to Argentina.
Chile.
We're very close to
Peru,
Chile.
Peru, Peru, Peru.
We have
No?
worked with Peru once.
You have penguins. Ecuador. How do you you have penguins in Galapagos? Yeah.
Dang!
eh, yeah.
I was going
Yeah.
to say Galapagos, but then I was like, if I say Galapagos, he will already know. I had to let him think.
You know, there was a girl because I
Mhm,
really went a lot of times to Akureyri to my exchange. I had a really good friend who I'm still in contact with. He was French,
mhm.
and his host family is there was a woman and of course a man, and the woman is called Dilleif Skjolda Ingimarsdottir. She is one of the most loveliest women I have ever met. She's been keeping, I'm not sure how long, I think since 30 or maybe 20 years exchange students each year. Her first exchange student was from Ecuador.
Why is it that your accent is so perfect when you say Ecuador?
Ecuador.
You
I
speak
don't know.
Spanish.
Un poco, un poco.
Okay, because your
All I
accent.
can say is, yo quiero una cerveza.
No, in Ecuador we ask for two. So quieres dos?
That's yeah, but what I wanted to say with this that
Mhm,
this man was the first exchange student in I think maybe 2000 something, 2001 or 2002,
mhm.
and now his daughter came to the same family, also from Ecuador. So that big time has been gone. He grew up. He is like 40 or maybe younger. Not sure. He has a 17 or maybe 18 years old daughter who was last year an exchange student at the same family. And
Wow.
the family went to visit Ecuador.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And they also visited me, and I got to know the girl. That they are so much in love with this Ecuador.
Yeah,
I don't know the
culture.
name. Not sure what's his name, but he's in a so good relation with them that he named his daughter after Dilleif. Her name is Dilleif Valarezo. Yeah.
Wow. It's so warm. I have always say Ecuadorians, we have so much in common with Icelandic people and not, maybe not the Reykjavik and people,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
more
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah. I get you. I get you.
the countryside of Icelandic people, because
Yeah.
we also share with our neighbors. We're always ready to serve and help others. Most of the time, others in front of us instead of us, and that's like we're always open to help. And we are like very shy to get help, but we're very easy to help others, and we're always very open and warm. We don't have, maybe, we don't have a lot of money as a country. We may not be the richest financially, economically, but we are the richest in heart. If we have one bread, we break it in two and we'll always give you the half.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
will
Yeah. Yeah.
eat together if we're hungry. It's not going to be just me eating in front of you and finishing it. It's never
Yeah.
going to happen. Ecuadorian people is always there for you. They're like friends for life. That's 100%. Now
But I
you're my
forgot.
friend for life.
Yeah.
You're stopping me.
Yeah. But I forgot the capital's name. It's not Caracas.
No, that's
But-
Venezuela.
what
Yeah,
is
Ecuador is Quito.
Quito? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Quito. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're
No,
very
no.
humble people. And in that sense, we're very humble. We're not showing up. We're like, humble. And Icelandic people in the countryside is like that too. They may have a lot of money, but they're not showing it. In
Yeah.
Reykjavik, you can see people showing off even if they don't have anything.
Yeah, 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 I know. I know. I don't know what's up with them over there in the south, but yeah,
Yeah,
this is kind
it's
of
not Iceland.
yeah, yeah,
But
it's
that's
not.
something that it's possible to spread the word. So we never let this Icelandic culture get lost or go away. It's
Yeah,
okay to have foreigners and get immersed and be part of the society. That is so cool. I mean, for me, it's a very cool society. It's open for us, teach us. It's patient. Yeah, that's my experience at least. Even
yeah,
being Many people ask me, so what have been your experience with racism? And I was living in the Westfjords. I didn't experience racism, not in the Westfjords. And I was living
And
in Akureyri,
you have in Reykjavik.
but in Reykjavik, and I also have seen friends experiencing that. And that's the bizarre thing about this, because that's not the Icelandic culture.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty I'm pretty skeptical about Reykjavik. So
I think everybody that lives in the north and in the west, it's always like, don't go to Reykjavik.
yeah. I mean, I think you would love to go to Akureyri. That's my other favorite city, where it's
Yeah.
like social wise, it's enough big, and it's also bunch of like filled with good people.
Was there a moment when you had no choice but to speak the local language? I think in some words you almost said that before, but was there a
Yeah.
moment you experienced like, okay, now I just have to?
Well, it's my everyday life. But when I was an exchange student, do you mean
Mm-hmm.
that? Ah, yeah.
Yes.
At the benzene station, for example, here, because in Thingeri there's only a benzene station, N8. You know the brand of N8, I think.
Yes.
And there's an old lady, Jovina, that I talked about, who's who's serving hamburgers, and I could talk English all the time. She was like, you giving me the nodding head and everything. But yeah, in Thingeri, I was forced to speak English. Well, I mean Icelandic. So that's something that also I can thank my language knowledge, because
Mhm.
I actually Thingeri was this little village that taught me Icelandic pretty well. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's one of a, but like to force, of course, I'm forced like now speak Icelandic for the construction. There's some subcontractors that are like really from the countryside, and they are not really good at English. I'm forced to talk English with, I mean Icelandic with them. But it's pretty much obvious because that's the reason I'm here, to talk Icelandic with the people. So yeah, it's going on
Will
like that.
Will you say that I was just telling you the things that I feel the Icelandic people and Ecuadorians were very similar? Will you say that there is something that you find that it merges now in your life, like Hungarian culture and Icelandic culture has just like blend, or is there something that are similar?
Between the two culture.
Yes, these two cultures, they look
Yeah,
so different, but they may be something that is like, huh?
there's actually a lot of similarities between Hungarians and Icelanders. It's pretty surprising. But I think one of the most similar things that we are like, I know that I just said that there's a lot, but
It's okay. We can edit.
I know that there's sometimes when I'm saying it that there's not even a difference between us because we are so alike. For example, I think we're drinking a lot, both of us. Icelanders and Hungarians are drinking a lot.
I like this.
To be honest,
Mhm.
I think like just when I have a like an interaction with people, I just
Uh-huh.
feel like that. But it's maybe because I'm already feeling home here. But you know when I'm talking to Icelandic people and to Hungarian people, I don't know how, but I'm just changing constant. Like
Oh, so are you two different persons?
yeah, yeah, I'm like a schizophrenic. Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
Like it's
Okay. So,
crazy, but I can feel like to how to respond to, like I'm not the same. I'm not built the same way when I'm like talking to an Icelander, and not I'm totally different when I'm talking to a Hungarian person, because I know the two difference. And because I know that some people who speak English only and their mother language speak English the way they speak their mother language. There's a lot of people like that. Like for example, the people who I'm working with. But I know that when I'm speaking English, I have a third personality. I mean, not the way I'm behaving, but the way I'm talking and the way I'm responding. And I know that if this podcast would be in Hungarian, I would be totally different with my to form my sentences. To give you a similarity between Hungarians and Icelandic people, when I came here, I really thought that this is like every Nordic country in Scandinavia, like really well dressed and like having nice blonde hair and everything. But I'm just looking around and most of the people, especially in the countryside, it's pretty much the same in my place. That the people are like just really don't care about anything. They are just like yeah, like they dress the way they like to because in Budapest, and I think it's in Reykjavik too. When you just go down to the shop for like 5 minutes, like, okay, what should I pick up? I should bring a farmer or it's like for 5 minutes, just like a dress check in front of the mirror. Here, I just put up my sweatpants, going with like papuch, and I don't care about anybody's like. So
It
yeah,
is
it's
very funny. It is very funny. We're talking about shoes. I brought mine. Normally, I go out and I keep these in my car in case I need them. And that's Reykjavik life. Because not
yeah.
all time it will be okay to be on my boots. Sometimes I have to get the heels if I am going to something more formal.
Yeah, of course. Me too, because when there's like some engineers coming, then I will dress up, of course, for like in my companies. But usually are not really caring about uh how they are. What I really like about the older people, I wouldn't say older, like the people above older than me, they are not, they have their own style. Doesn't matter what kind we talk about, but in my home everybody dresses the same way because there's the style. That's the I don't know, 2026 style, and everybody's wearing the
Trend.
same shitty jacket and the shitty sweater. I think the youngsters in Iceland are starting to be like this. Everybody has these 66 shirts and everything. Wearing the same thing. But the people above 30, they start to have, and I'm just only talking about the countryside. They having their own style because I'm seeing people having their Loppa peisa, which is the knitted sweater and
Sweater,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah,
When I was living in Isafjord, that was
yeah,
like when I arrived, and I was wearing double pants,
yeah,
double sweaters, and a huge jacket.
yeah. Now
Very
it's
thick
really good
one,
weather here. It's 10 degrees, so
10
people are
degrees.
yeah. It's the
That's
same
cold,
warmth in Hungary now.
but
Yeah.
that's cold.
No, it's not.
You see, you are already in the Icelandic.
Now in Hungary it's actually colder than here. Like
Really?
during the winters because the climate is different here. The cold is not dry. In Hungary, it can be -25, and it can like hurt when you go outside.
Oh,
It can hurt also, but you don't feel that much. You don't feel it in your bones. In Hungary, the weather can be like in Siberia because
oh,
it's
wow.
because there's no sea around you. That's what we have there. It's called dry cold. You can like really feel it,
Oh,
and it's even more killing. So yeah.
okay, that's terrible. You see, I'm staying. I'm not leaving.
Yeah,
Not moving to Hungary at
yeah.
least.
But the summers are also really warm.
Because the older I'm getting, I get colder. I tolerate cold less.
Yeah, but the
I'm
main
always
reason
looking
I
for a
love
warm space.
the main reason I love Hungary is because we have all the four seasons. Autumn is the way it should be, like brown
Mm.
leaves. The trees are leaving their leaves. Then the winter is the true winter. We have snow. We have what it needs, and then spring when the flowers are blooming, and summer is like really killing it. 40 degrees outside, you want to die because of the warmth. So yeah. So we have
That's a lot.
yeah, that's all the four seasons we have, and I really love it because
How,
you don't have.
yes, like how do you cope with the hot weather?
I'm here
Like
now, so
three
I'm
times a
okay with
day
it.
shower or what?
Yeah, that about that. No, I just shower only once in a day during summer. We go a lot of times to like local lakes and swim there to get off the heat.
Ah, that's
Yeah,
so nice.
yeah. So it's
That's
good.
so nice.
It's good. Yeah.
Yes, that's great. I'm really glad that we had the time to chat, and I'm sure I will call you one more time someday, so we can
Yeah.
keep in contact because I really like the updates, like what is happening in the West Fjords
Yeah,
over
of
there,
course.
the real Icelandic culture. For me at least,
Yeah. Of
that
course.
keeps me grounded to be from Isafjordur. It really do. When I meet people, I always say I'm from Isafjordur.
Yeah, good. Very good. Keep do that. And no, you can say that you are Ísfirðingur. That's even better.
Isfirdik.
Yeah.
I am Isfirdik.
Yeah.
I really love that. It was a really nice chat. I
Y-
thank you for staying with me and having this nice conversation. And how is it outside right now? Is it snowing or windy?
no.
Oh, it looks so good. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Which annoys me the most that the sun is doesn't that don't want to like, you know, go
Stay.
down. Yeah. Now the sun is like getting more. So that's
But
something that it's
how beautiful to live close to that mountains. That's
yeah, I
like
know. I'm
it's so
surrounded by mountains and in my back there's the sea. So
wow.
it's a pretty nice place. Yeah.
Yes. Lucky you.
Thank you.
And thank you for being with me in this crazy adventure of sharing life between cultures in Iceland.
No worries. Thank you for the invitation.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
Yeah,
Per
for me too.
Bjarni.
Bjartne. Yeah, actually, that's my Icelandic name.
That's your Icelandic, right?
Yeah, everybody calls me like that in Iceland, Bjartne.
Oh, but you
Yeah.
actually look Icelandic. There is not much difference. Or
And
you
because I know it's because I have German relatives.
perhaps
Yeah,
ah, oh,
Hungarians. I don't know. Hungarians are pretty mixed nowadays.
yes. Warm hug from the distance of Reykjavik and
Yeah, for you
see
too.
you around. Thank
Yeah,
you. Bye
keep contact.
bye.
Bye bye.